After a couple of days, Virgil found the bridge in the distance, so he dropped off the group at the waterfront market. "This is as far as I can go. You can make it to the bridge and save Brother Bear from here," Virgil said to the group. "Thanks, Virgil. You helped us a lot," Coach replied as Rochelle was leaving. "Good luck to you guys. I'll be off to see if I can help some other folks." Virgil drove the boat away, and the gang looked at the bridge, which was far away. "Let's save Brother Bear and we'll save Farmer Ben," Ellis said, as the group began to start walking through the streets, shooting down the wandering zombies as they saw some jets flying past the group over their heads. "Those guys must be bombing us," Rochelle called to the group. "We gotta get to Brother, hurry," Sister said as the group started to walk through the streets quickly. They even went through a few alleyways down the hall until they found a safe house in the distance. "Why are they bombing us?" Ellie asked. "I have no clue. I guess they want to bomb Farmer Ben, who is a jackass," Nick said, making the group laugh. "Good one, Nick. That one was funny," Rochelle laughed as the group walked inside the safe room. "Don't shoot the car," Ellis said to the group as they walked past the car. Zoe then caught up with the group while she was carrying Sister, as she was in a panic. "Someone help!" Zoe said as her vision suddenly started to get blurry, and Ellis saw Zoe was feeling woozy. "You okay?" Ellis asked. "Sister and we ate something, and I think the chocolate we had was spiked." Zoe then collapsed into Ellis's arms as Rochelle and Ellie ran to their aid. "What happened?" Ellie asked. "Sister and Zoe have both passed out," Ellis said, as he found a wrapper of chocolate with some leftover of chocolate left. "I think this chocolate must have been spiked, or someone spiked it," Ellis said. "Oh shit, we better stay back here for a while," Rochelle said, as she carried Sister in the safe room, while Ellis and Ellie carried Zoe into the safe room themselves. "It must have been Farmer Ben wanting to kill them," Ellie replied. Rochelle took a closer look at the chocolate with Coach and Nick, and they found sleeping pills inside the chocolate. These were sleeping pills inside the chocolate. Zoe and Sister must have had a few sleeping pills while they were eating the chocolate, Rochelle said, as she showed Ellie and Ellis. "A good thing they didn't have an overdose on them. A friend of mine in college died of an overdose on these." "Holy shit, will Zoe and Sister be okay?" Ellis asked. "Well, with these sleeping pills have knocked them out, they'll wear off in a couple of hours," Ellie replied. "They'll be okay, Ellis," Nick said, patting his back. "Where are you free off to?" Ellis asked, as Rochelle handed him a walkie-talkie. "We'll be going ahead of you guys, and we'll clear out some infected for you guys. If you need anything, or we need anything for that matter, we will talk to you through the walkie-talkie," Rochelle said. "If you need us, just tell us through these," Coach replied. "Let us know when Zoe and Sister wake up," Nick said as the three survivors prepared themselves, and then they walked out of the safe room house, leaving Ellis and Ellie keeping an eye on Sister and Zoe. "Do you want us to do something here?" Ellis asked. "Sure," Ellie said. "Let's play a game of cards. I can show you a couple of games," Ellis replied. While he and Ellie were playing cards, the rest of the group were near the bus stop. "We're close to the bus stop," Rochelle said, as she was suddenly hit in the back of the head, knocking her out. "Row!" Nick ran towards her as the Charger grabbed him. "What the hell is going on?" Coach asked as a tank grabbed him. As he stepped out of the darkness was Farmer Ben. Well. What do we have here?" "3 survivors of the group," Farmer Ben said. "Just let us go," Nick growled. "Where is that dude with his girlfriend?" Farmer Ben asked. "And where's that teenage girl with the bear cub?" "They will find you, they will find us, and they'll be rid of you," Coach said, as Tank muffled him for a few minutes. "They will come to the bridge and I'll kill you all, along with Brother Bear," Farmer Ben said as he commanded the infected to bring the 3 survivors to the bridge, where Farmer Ben will have his revenge on Ellis, Zoe, Sister, and Ellie. The other walkie-talkie was dropped. After a couple of hours, Ellis and Zoe were woken up by Zoe and Sister Bear. "Ellis, we're awake. What happened?" Zoe asked. Farmer Ben overdosed you and sister on sleeping pills. Well, almost did. You ate a couple of them. You and sister were knocked out, Ellie said, as she showed sister and Zoe the sleeping pills that were inside the chocolate bar. Farmer Ben, that asshole, sister said. Has anyone seen Rochelle, Coach, or Nick? Zoe asked as Ellis helped her up, while Ellie helped sister up. They went out to kill some infected, but they should have been out for a while, Ellis said. I have tried to get a hold of them on the walkie-talkie, but there was no reply. So something tells me that something happened, Ellie said. We'll have to go find them and catch up with them, sister said. Ready, girls? Ellis asked as he prepared himself and Zoe. Ellie and sister also prepared themselves, and they all left the safe room. They found a park heritage, so they went for the park. There were a couple of dead bodies of zombies, even the special ones. Maybe something must have happened, Ellie suggested, as she found a note on the exit on the way to the park. There's a note. It's saying that Farmer Ben has Rochelle, Nick, and Coach, and will be in the safe room. They've been captured, sister exclaimed. We will have to get to the safe room on the bridge, Ellis said. That is where he had took them, is my guess, Ellis said, as he was scared of his friends being hurt. I hope Coach and Nick are okay, especially Rochelle, Ellie said, as Zoe and Ellis were having awful thoughts on what Farmer Ben could have done to their friends. Ellie and sister were having the same thoughts too. If that Farmer Ben ever hurts our friends, I'll fucking kill him for it, Ellis growled in rage. If Farmer Ben gets his hands on Rochelle, I'll rip his throat out and shove it down his throat, Zoe growled in rage as well. Let's go save our friends and Brother Bear, Ellie said. She along with her friends walked until they saw a crime scene. Ellis found the other walkie-talkie that the other group had and picked it up. Farmer Ben must have been here, Ellis said as he looked to see a bus station that was not far. God, I hope they'll be okay for when me and my friends get there. He prayed for his friend's safety as he, along with Ellie, sister and Zoe, went through a doorway where it had been an abandoned ambulance. They then opened the door and the bus alarm went off, attracting the horde of infected. Ellis, along with his girlfriend and Ellie and sister's help, they were able to take down the horde of infected as they ran to the bus stop, to which the alarm was up so high that they had to turn off the alarm. Man, that annoyed me, Ellie said as Ellis turned off the alarm. I know, Ellie. My ears won't stop ringing, Ellis replied. The group then walked down to the bus stop and went for the station. They kept walking through the streets until they found another safe house to hold out. Ellie then saw that sister had a scar on his shoulder. Ellis then notices it too, along with sister. Damn, Zoe, that is one scar, she said as he looked at it. I think I know how to do this, Ellie said as she ran to find a needle and thread, along with some gauze and even some stitching material. Have you stitched yourself before or anyone else? Zoe asked. Yup, Ellie replied as she was showing Zoe the scar on her arm that was stitched up. Did it myself, she said. It's not that bad, Ellie, so I don't need stitches, Ellis said, looking at the scar. It isn't a gashing one. At least it wasn't too bad, Ellie replied, lied as Zoe felt a sharp pain in her stomach. Ellis was worried. You alright, Zoe? Ellis asked, as he and sister were walking. I'm fine. It's nothing, Zoe answered. I understand, Zoe. If you don't want to talk about it, you're fine, Ellis replied as he handed Zoe a gun for her. Sister has traveled with me before, and she and I are pretty close. I told her when she's all grown up, she will remember who I was, Zoe replied as she went outside the safe room. When she came back with Ellis, she looked at him. Well, Zoe, what I do know is that this has been rough, Ellis said as he wrapped his arm around Zoe. And as long as we stick together, we can conquer anything. It's the same thing, Ellis. I was going to say that, Zoe replied as Ellis kissed her. We'll relax here for a while, and whenever you two are ready to continue, We could continue from there. And I sure hope everyone else is okay. After Ellis and the rest of the group rested in the safe room for some time, Ellie walked outside of the safe room along with Sister as they started to shoot down the wandering zombies. As soon as Zoe and Ellis prepared themselves, they saw the girls shooting down a smoker and a charger themselves. "You shot down a smoker, Sister? Great job," Zoe said. "No shit, girl. How would an 8-year-old cub learn how to shoot?" "Ooh," Ellis smiled. "Zoe taught me when she saved me. I was a bit scared, but she showed me how to kill a zombie," Sister replied. "Brother isn't far now. We just gotta get to the bridge and save him. I hope Coach, Rochelle, and Nick are okay," Zoe said as she and the rest of the group started to walk through the streets until they were shooting zombies. Sister looked at Ellis. "Thanks for saving me and Zoe, Ellis," Sister said to him. "Zoe was knocked out along with you from the sleeping pills for a while. Now, who the hell would do anything like that?" Ellis wondered as the group walked through some houses. "Some crazy assholes in the world," Zoe replied as she kisses Ellis on the cheek. "I sure hope Nick and Rochelle and even Coach are okay." "I'm sure they'll be okay," Ellie replied as the group made it back to the streets to find the manhole that leads to the sewers. "Will this take us somewhere?" Ellie asked. "I think so," replied Sister. "Let's go down and see." The group went down the manhole and they were in the sewer tunnels. Everyone had their flashlights on as they walked through inside the sewer tunnel. They shot down the few wandering zombies along with those that were attacking the group. They found a ladder and climbed their way to the top to find a lot of wandering zombies. "Oh shit, car alarms everywhere," Ellie said. "Now you don't shoot any of these cars," Ellis replied as everyone got their melee weapons out and killed the wandering zombies that were in their way. As they were walking past the car alarms, as soon as they made it through the alarms without triggering any of them, they climbed up the ladder of the stairway until they made it up to the bridge. A jet just flew by and dropped a bomb, to which it made the bridge crumble down. "Looks like we ain't going that way," Ellis said. The group then shot down the wandering zombies when they were in the cemetery. "I don't like this place," Sister said to Zoe. "I don't either, but we need to get out of here soon," Zoe replied. Within a few minutes, the group was out of the cemetery and they found themselves in a room in one building. As they got closer, a tank appeared right in front of them. "Just run to the safe room. There's no way we could take down the tank without any help," Ellie said as everyone ran inside the safe room and closed the door. The tank eventually gave up on trying to break down the door, so eventually he left. "That was close," Zoe said. "It sure was," Ellis said. "We should be close to the bridge. I hope our friends, including Brother, are okay," Sister replied. Meanwhile, in the safe room where the bridge is near the helicopter pad was on the other side, Rochelle along with Coach and Nick were tied up. "This is my fault. If we should have stayed with Ellis, Sister, Zoe, and Ellie, none of this would have happened," Rochelle said. "It's no one's fault, Rochelle. I hope they are okay. I just hope they can save us if they're all right," Nick replied. "They'll come and save us, Nick and Rochelle. I just know they will," Coach replied, as the safe room exit door opened, and it was Brother Bear. "I can help," he said. "You will do that for us?" Rochelle asked as she smiled. "Sure. Farmer Ben won't be back for a while. I stole something that belongs to him." Brother showed the magic mirror that he stole from Farmer Ben. "You must be Brother Bear. You're the one your sister said along with Zoe and Ellis said about you," Coach said. "I am. And who is Ellis? Is Sister and Zoe okay?" asked Brother. "They were knocked out after eating a couple of sleeping pills. They were in a chocolate bar, and Zoe and Sister ate some," Nick said. "Ellis and Ellie stayed back to look after Sister and Zoe while we went out to clear a path for them. Then Farmer Ben captured us," Coach said. "My name's Coach." "Name's Nick. So you'll help us?" Nick asked Brother Bear. "Sure, this magic mirror will be very useful," Brother said, as the magic mirror shows Ellis and Zoe in the safe room with Sister and Ellie. "Oh, thank God they're okay. I'm just really glad that they're okay. My name's Rochelle." Rochelle sighed. "Besides that, we are worried about them. Here is the plan. You go find Alice, Zoe, sister, and Ellie. Then you bring them here, and we can all escape. Sounds great, Brevor said, as he was about to leave the safe room when he looked at his new friends. I'll be careful, he said. Watch out for smokers, hunters, tanks, witches, and boomers, Nick said. I've seen them. It's a long story, Brevor replied. Watch out for chargers and jockeys and spitters, Coach replied. And watch out for Farmer Ben, he said as Brevor went off to find Zoe and sister along with Ellie and Ellis. Back in the safe house, Ellis and Zoe along with Ellie and sister were preparing to head out. As they were exiting out of the safe room, they were hearing footsteps. Someone's coming, Ellie said loudly. We better hide if it's Farmer Ben, Ellis said. The group then went back inside the safe house when a knock was on the door. Go away, we're not here, Ellis called out. Then a familiar voice was heard. It's me, is anyone here? A voice called. Sister could tell within seconds that it was Brother Bear, so she had a peek just to make sure it was her brother. Brother, you're okay, Sister said as she opened the safe room door. Oh my God, it's you, Zoe said as she grabbed Sister and Brother and pulled them into a group hug. We were worried about you, said Zoe. I came down here on my own, with some help, of course, Brother said as Lewis and Francis showed up. Francis? Lewis? Zoe asked in shock. I didn't know if I thought you wanted to stay where you were. Lewis was better within a few weeks, so we thought we could follow you guys, Francis replied. We saw Brother and he was alone being chased by a tank, so I shot it down, Lewis smiled. And that was for Bill, he said. How can you see Bill? He is dead, Zoe said, as there was a spirit voice talking. Zoe, it said. Zoe then found it was Bill's voice. Zoe, you are doing very well, he said. Bill, I thought I would never hear your voice again, Zoe said with tears of joy as a ghost-like spirit image of Bill appeared. I have always watched over you, Zoe, and your friends have been with you since the infection started. I will always knew you would be the hero, Bill said. I'll take care of Francis and Lewis, Bill. I'll take care of everyone else, Zoe said. Farmer Ben's going to kill us. I just need to stop him. Remember who you are, Zoe. You're like a daughter to me, a granddaughter as well. You are young, strong, and you keep everyone safe. I will always be around to guide you. Just take care of Farmer Ben, he said. Thanks, Bill. I will do that for you, Zoe replied. Sister and brother, I want you to know that Zoe loves you very much, Bill said to Brother and Sister Bear. We love her too, Bill. It's nice to see your spirits in heaven, Sister said. We'll take care of Farmer Ben for you, because I know how much you would have done it yourself, Brother added. We'll do that when we can, Bill. We'll be safe, Lewis said. Be safe, everyone. Look for my spirit in this world when you think of me, Bill said as his ghost image of his spirit was fading. I'll protect Zoe, even if Ellis is hers. Her girl is her. Well, hers, pretty much, Francis stuttered. Don't be an ass, Francis. That's all I have to ask you, Bill said as his ghost image spirit was fading away. Now we can get to the group, but how can we get there quickly? Ellie asked. With Farmer Ben's magic mirror, I can get us there quickly, Brother Bear said, showing the magic mirror to his friends. You must be Brother. I'm Ellis, Ellis replied, as he handed Brother a Midnight Rider's hat. Nice to meet you, Ellis. Thanks for the hat, Brother said. Now let's get us out of here, Ellie said. Nice to meet you, Brother. I'm Ellie, by the way. Nice to meet you, Ellie. I'm glad with your help for us, he said, as Zoe used the magic mirror, and the group was all teleported to the safe room on the bridge. They saw Coach, Nick, and Rochelle tied up. Zoe, Ellis, Sister, Ellie, Nick called out as he smiled. You're all okay. Yep, Francis and Lewis have decided to come along, Zoe replied, as Coach, Nick, and Rochelle were being untied by Ellie and Sister. We're going to run across the bridge and take down Farmer Ben, and we'll get the Cubs home, Coach said, as he told the group about his plan and escape. And not only that, but just to kill Farmer Ben. Well, not really kill, but defeat him. The group was still on the bridge after having some time to prepare themselves. They lowered the bridge and ran across the bridge. Run! Zoe shouted as the group ran to the other side, dodging the zombies and other infected. "You're all not going anywhere," a voice said. A sister and brother were being grabbed. It was Farmer Ben. Zoe along with Alice pointed their guns at him as the infected got ready to attack. "Let them go now," Zoe growled. "Now why can't we all settle this nicely?" Farmer Ben asked as a tank grabbed Zoe and Alice saw what he was going to do. "Time to die, bitch," Farmer Ben said. "Zoe, no!" Ellis shouted as he ran towards the tank. He punches Ellis as he fell onto the paved area. The tank lets go of Zoe and she sees Ellis being thrown violently. "Ellis!" she shouted. She ran towards Ellis. No, 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 Ellis, please stay with me. Ellis, wake up!" Zoe started to have tears in her eyes. "He has to wake up," Ellie said as she grabs Farmer Ben's magic mirror. "This is what you did for hurting my friends." Ellie used the magic mirror and knocked out Farmer Ben with its magic as he lets go of brother and sister bear. He was on the ground as the bear cubs walked towards Zoe and with Ellis. The special infected started circling and did nothing. "Wake up, Ellis," brother said. "We have to do something," sister replied as Zoe started to cry. She was holding Ellis as she cries, "Please, Ellis, you can't leave me. I can't let you go." Zoe sobbed. "Zoe," sister said as she started to cry. She hugged Rochelle as she starts to cry as well, but she was sad as well. "Zoe," brother said as he started to cry as he hugged Coach. Everyone looked sad as Zoe, Rochelle, Ellie, brother, and sister began to cry. "Ellis, I love you so much. Please don't leave now. Come back to me." Zoe sobbed on Ellis's chest as Ellis slowly wakes up, opening his eyes as he looked at Zoe. "Zoe?" he asked weakly. Zoe then looked at Ellis. "Ellis? You're alive?" she asked as Ellis sat up while rubbing his head. "Doesn't anyone check a pulse anymore?" he asked. Zoe then smiled with joy as she hugs him. As soon as everyone saw that Ellis was alive, they all smiled with joy. "Ellis, I thought I've lost you." Zoe smiled as she hugged him. "You're alive," the cubs said as they hugged Ellis. "You had us worried up here," Ellie said as the rest of the group helped Ellis up. "Give me that magic mirror, please, Ellie," Zoe said. "There is something I must do," she said as she took the magic mirror. "Magic mirror, make Farmer Ben a good guy again and turn this world back to normal. Wipe out all the infected that are still out there," Zoe chanted as the magic mirror lets out magic everywhere. It turns the whole zombie world into the world where it was before the infection started. The zombies and the special infected were back to normal, and then that was when Farmer Ben woke up. "Oh, my head," he asked. "What happened?" "It's a long story," brother explained. He explained the whole story of Too Tall and No Good Gang stealing watermelons, and he even went crazy after that. "I'm very sorry, everyone. I guess I made it an adventure or horror for you guys," Farmer Ben said. "Let's just get you home," Coach said. "Me and Ellis will do one thing." Zoe smiled at Farmer Ben. "I'll give him your message," she said. "And so will I. They're scared of us," Ellis replied. While the group was back on their way home from their adventure, they saw Too Tall and his gang hanging around near a cave. "I guess Brother Bear is chicken," Scuzz said. "I agree. We don't need him to have fun," Toot Smirk said as Ellis and Zoe with the group appeared. "Too Tall," Zoe growled as she and Ellie stood forward. "If Farmer Ben ever catches you or your gang in his watermelon patch again, your parents are gonna hear from us," Ellis said as he cocked his gun, and Zoe did the same thing. "Now get the fuck out of here," he growled. "We're sorry," Smirk said. "It won't happen again," Scuzz replied. "Please don't tell our parents," Too Tall and his gang said as they started screaming in the cave and went home. "I never knew we could be so scary," Nick said as the group led brother and sister and Farmer Ben in the cave until they reached bear country. "We're home," brother said as he saw Mom and Papa waiting for them. "Mama, Papa!" Brother and sister both ran up and hugged their parents. "Brother, you're safe, and so you are too, sister," Mama said as she hugged her cubs, along with Papa. We were so worried about you two, but I knew Zoe would help, Papa said. Zoe then introduced Coach Nick, Ellis, Ellie, and Rochelle to Mom and Papa. You're coming back with us? Sister asked, as Zoe crouched at her level. I'm sorry, Sister. I'm starting off my life new with Ellis back to my real home, Zoe said. That's okay, but will you come and visit us? Sister asked. Of course we will, and you could visit us any time, Ellis replied. Thank you, Ellis, Brother said. Thank you, Ellis. Mama and I do thank you for helping Zoe and Sister save Brother, Papa said as Farmer Ben showed up. They saved me too. I'll explain the whole story back at the farm, Farmer Ben said. Bye, everyone. We'll see you soon, Rochelle said, as the group headed back towards their world when Ellis and Zoe had something for Sister, along with Fred and Lizzie. Wait! Ellis then called out as Brother and Sister Bear stopped. Since we gave Brother something, we wanted to give you, Lizzie, these. Ellis then handed a red sweater like Zoe's that says Sister's name on the back of the sweater. Fred got a shirt as the Midnight Riders one. Lizzie got a green one with her name on it. Wow, that's amazing. Thank you, Ellis and Zoe, Sister said, as Zoe smiled. Tell Fred and Lizzie that those two are from me and Ellis. Hope you guys come and visit, Zoe said, as she and Ellis went back in the cave to go back to their own world, underneath Bear Country, as they hope that one day, maybe they will see them again and visit them in the near future. At least a few months after the adventure they had, Brother Bear, along with Lizzie, Sister, and Fred, were walking down the path in the cave that leads them to the world under them. They soon got down to the world under them, and they had saw that they were on a country farm with a farmhouse. Wow, look at how huge this place is, Sister said, as there were some horses outside. The whole cubs then started walking towards the farmhouse door. Why, hello, cubs! Zoe smiled as she opened the door. Zoe, it's been a while, hasn't it? Lizzie said. It sure has been, Lizzie. Come on in, Zoe said as Ellis appeared with Coach, Rochelle, Nick, Louis, and Francis. It's Ellis's birthday, too. He's now 24 years old, Rochelle said. We brought you gifts, Fred said. Happy birthday, Lizzie smiled as Ellis opened his gifts from the cubs. He got a teddy bear from Fred, a horse statue from Lizzie, and he even got a picture of the whole group, including the Bear family. This is the best birthday ever, Ellis said as he kisses Zoe. I love you, Ellis, she said, smiling at him. I love you too, Zoe, Ellis replied as he pulled Zoe closer to him, and they planted a kiss on the lips. Everyone had a great party within the group. Since the fact that Ellie had nowhere to go, Zoe and Ellis decided that they would take Ellie in and live with them. Ellie was feeling happy since to her it was like Zoe was her older sister, and she felt that she really did belong with them. Although she still missed her old group, but I didn't think that Ellie would have been around anywhere else. If it wasn't for her meeting the group, God only knows what would have happened or where she would be right now.